All right, the red box is on. I see it on my screen, and inside that red box, it states we are live. I'm consulting my host manual, and that, in fact, means we are live. Go figure. You know what? I won't quit my day job. But hello, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us. And if you love what we do here on Talk Shop Live, check out Talk Best Artists, who, by the way, have autographed a number of their albums for fans just like you. I am absolutely stoked for today's guest. Been a huge fan for a long time running, and first time he's joining us. And not that he needs an introduction, but I'm going to put him to work right away. I'm going to ask if he would be so kind as to introduce himself to the world out there.
Okay. Yeah, Bruce R. Hornsby, Bruce Randall Hornsby. And now we have three Randalls. I named one of my sons, Keith Randall Hornsby, and he named his son Graham Randall. So the Randall thing is gonna is for the ages.
I love that. Yeah. Hopefully at a family gathering, they don't call out Randall to see what happens.
That's right. Three people would answer, right?
Exactly.
Very confusing for everyone except Brendan here. We have to thank Brendan for making all this work.
Indeed. And little background as if he needs some. And this is, believe me, the edited version. If I gave the extended version, I would take up the entire hour of the show. But he's a singer, pianist, composer, band leader. He's created an amazing and vast, accomplished body of work. Some 40 years ago, he and his band, The Range, of course, their first album, The Way It Is, went on to sell an astounding 3 million albums, and that was all physical, folks, back in the day. He has also been sought after with many great artists, and has worked with such great talents as Bob Dylan, Robbie Robertson, Bonnie Raitt, Willie Nelson, Don Henley, Bob Seger, Squeeze. I love that one. Stevie Nicks, Chaka Khan, Charlie Hayden, Crosby, Stills, and Nash. Another one of my favorites, the great Leon Russell, Warren Zevon, Brandon Flowers, Bella Fleck, and Clint Black, just to name a few. He's worked on his own records with amazing talents such as Ornette Coleman, Jerry Garcia, Eric Clapton, Sting, Elton John, Mavis Staples, the great Mavis from Chicago, Phil Collins, Pat Metheny, who's been on a number of times, and Branford Marsalis, again, amongst others. And he's co-written songs with the great Robert Hunter, of course, the Grateful Dead lyricist, Justin Vernon, Robbie Robertson, Don Henley, Leon Russell, Charlie Hayden, Chaka Khan, and Jack DeJohnette, just to name a few. And his songs have been recorded. And I love this. It was a massive hit. Tupac Shakur, his iconic changes, Akon, Bon Iver, also Snoop Dogg, E40, Don Henley. Just runs the gamut. It's amazing. He has 3 Grammy wins amongst his 13 nominations.
10-time loser.
Oh, I wasn't going to say that. No, I was focusing on the 3 wins.
That's for me to say. Yeah,
it's three more than a lot of artists out there for sure, man. They would gladly take one of those. And his albums have sold a total of over 11 million copies and counting. And tonight we're celebrating his brilliant new album, Indigo Park. I'm going to come up for air, and buckle up, everyone. Let's kick this show off. Brendan, if you would please roll the video.
Thank you, Steve. You made it very easy for me.
Key 6. Right there.
Yeah, I was already amped up before they play that video. Now I'm amped up to 12 because it's one more than Nigel's 11. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go see the movie. But I'm Steve Harkins, your host on the Rock and Roll Channel Talk Shop Live, and absolutely thrilled to welcome to Talk Shop Live's Rock and Roll Channel the absolutely amazing Bruce Hornsby. Thank you so much for being here, Bruce.
Good to be here. That list of credits kind of wore me out, kind of tired, made me tired. It's a whole lot of stuff packed in, but it's been 40 years, so there's a lot of time to get all that in. But the stylistic gamut, from Ornette Coleman to Bon Iver, that's a great wide gulf there. And so I'm proud of all that.
As you should be, and, again, that was the Cliff Notes version, so, uh, I left out some other impressive, accomplishments, and, man, first let me state, I know, you're often aligned with entertainment or being an entertainer, but I say this with all sincerity, especially in today's day and age during these somewhat contentious times that, Bruce, what you do is extraordinarily important, man. I think that the one common thread these days that we have is music. And, when you set foot on stage, it doesn't matter what religious convictions one has or even their political affiliations, you bring everyone together on a unified front, or when you're unveiling great new music in the form of an album. So thank you for what you do.
Well, thanks so much. Although I have my polarizing moments, especially the last several years in what we call the trilogy or tetralogy era, starting with 2019's Absolute Zero, where in which I've pushed the harmonic envelope. So some people are really not interested in hearing music that deals in the in the white notes, with the white notes and the black notes. And so
Yeah.
there's a good bit of dissonance coming from my world now. I'm interested in making a sound I haven't heard before, and rather than staying in the same harmonic palette, melodic palette. So yeah, so that's sometimes people are not so excited about what I'm doing, but I at the same time, I'm also trying to give myself chills. So that tends to lead me to more of what I call the more straight ahead, the more white note, traditional sounding music, because I love that too. So it's all there. If you don't like what I call the gonzo tracks, just skip those.
I would encourage everyone to invest in a good set of headphones and listen to the album start to finish, because you know what? It runs the gamut, and that's the
Right.
beauty, I think,
Exactly.
of when you're making records for yourself first, and then you project it onto the public. You turn it over to us, and you know what? It's keeping kind of a formula, in place. Sometimes you kind of run out of valid ideas where you're just replicating, to a certain extent what you've already created. So I think fans are going to love this record because it definitely is wide ranging, and you're hitting on a lot of fronts. And kudos to you for doing that, because not all artists, I think, have, you know, the bravery, the commitment to be able to kind of go down passive, pushing the envelope and challenging themselves.
And also challenging the audience, but mostly it's about
Yeah.
challenging. Mostly it's about challenging myself, and also I'm just interested in the modern and interested in pushing the norms and forms of the popular song. That's important to me as trying to write something that really moves people. So on this record, do you want me to get specific about it, or are we going to do that later?
We can get specific about it in a little bit. I mean, we really want to do a deep dive, but no, thanks for asking. But I did want to mention to folks that this is my second encounter with you live. Of course, the first time was in person, and it was hard to believe. Some 40 years ago, we were both embryos, I think, and
Yes.
yeah, and
Mere fledglings. Yes. Mere fledglings.
indeed. And you were making the rounds. This happened to be in Chicago. I worked for a fairly prominent wholesaler based in Chicago, and your new label RCA, had informed us you really need to meet this person. We think something special is going to happen, and he's been kind of toying around a little bit with this new age thing, and I thought, well, that's kind of interesting thing to say, but. Uh, but I will say this, well, the two things. One is, so thankful that we had and still have, although I'm in Charlotte, but I keep tabs on Chicago, the great station WXRT, who has embraced
Yes.
Hornsby for
So
years.
yeah, so great. And now to speaking to the new age comment that
Yes, sir.
whatever Schmendrick from RCA gave you that rap. Now that's totally coming. That's just not really true. But it's coming from this fact. I made this demo tape, just basically me and a drum machine, a Linn drum, me playing synth bass and piano.
Yeah.
It was the least commercial tape I had made. We called them tapes then.
Yes.
And I knew a woman, though, so I thought no major label would be interested in this tape, this demo for 4 songs. Uh, but I knew someone who worked at Windham Hill, and I'd heard they were opening a vocal label called Open Air. Her
Right.
name's Dawn Atkinson. So I got in touch with Dawn. I'm trying to make this fast. I said I'd like to send you some music. She got back to me. I love this. Can I hear some more? It was just 2 songs at the time. Anyway, Will Ackerman at Windham Hill offered me a deal on this Open Air label, and I thought that was great. It just felt like the right thing, because again, the least commercial tape, but
Yeah.
it was the most original sounding thing I had done. But the word got out, I guess, with the RCA One Stop people you were talking to,
Yeah.
that this guy almost went with Windham Hill, which instantly brands you as new age. So but it's really wasn't true
Thanks for
at
setting
all.
the record straight, man. I could check that box after 40 years.
It doesn't really matter, but it's just funny
It
to hear that. Oh yeah, he was
it
dabbling in new age, but now he's doing this. No, what you're promoting is the stuff that this new age label, quote unquote, was interested in as
it
well.
Speaking of branding, I feel kinda guilty because, when you came through, man, I thought this guy has an amazing sense of humor. He stereotypically, he doesn't respond similarly to most new age artists that I've met who don't always have a great sense of humor, which is unfair because 'cause I'm sure there were some new age artists out there that had a great sense of humor.
Painting it all with one color there, but yeah, I'm glad you said that because I'm sure they're new age artists, whatever that's supposed to be,
Right.
who are hilarious people and don't
It
take themselves too seriously. But I don't know that world really. You don't hear the term new age that much anymore, do you? Or at least I don't.
No, you don't. I think that's come to pass. I think the industry took that, beat it, over the head, to
Yeah.
death and, found a new category to promote.
Yes, it's in the past, maybe now. Who knows? It doesn't matter. Right. So that's where we met at the One Stop in Chicago.
Yes, and
So yeah, I was working the room. They had me working the room
you
like crazy.
you did, and I'm so thankful because I have, 2 items that I greatly cherish. One is a photograph because I said, I understand it, and I have a sense that you're gonna become fairly famous. So, could I get a picture of you in a compromising position, so I can sell it? I don't make much of a wage, and, that would, contribute towards my retirement fund, which I had no retirement fund, and you were gracious enough to do it. I wanted to say exactly what it was, and I wouldn't say it was completely outrageous, but it was classic. And the other thing was you signed, an album flat, as we called them, which, they're too cheap, I think, to give me a full album. So it's a replication of the album artwork. Again, I loved what you signed, and it was something to the effect of, "Hey, Steve, can you believe all the shit we got away with in Mrs. Palmer's class, Bruce Hornsby?" And,
Is that what I
and,
wrote? That's
and I
funny.
cherish that to this very day. So I
Miss Palmer.
digress.
Yeah. Okay. Little Laura Palmer Twin Peaks action there. It sounds like.
That's exactly right, man.
Yeah.
Listen,
David Lynch.
congratulations.
David Lynch. A nod to him. Very funny.
Absolutely, but I cherish that, and congratulations, man, on Indigo Park. It's quite an album, and I suspect you've gotta be pleased with, the final outcome of it.
Well, I was pleased with it, or I wouldn't have put it out. But I'm also pleased with the reception, which has been pretty fantastic. For the first time in my 40-year run here, the
Yeah,
New York Times did a full feature on me. They've dealt with me for years. Some of their writers have been fans of mine and shouted me out for best pop song of the year 2020 or 2019, etc. But this was different. They took the deep dive on me, and on and on. There's so much that's been going on with this. So yeah, so lucky me in my dotage here. I'm getting all this affirmation, which is beautiful.
and to kinda revisit, your comment earlier, but, you've said, "I piss off a lot of my old fans who want me to make the same record every year,"
I
like some of
apologize
my
to those fans. I apologize. I feel their pain, and I understand that popular music, for the most part, is a nostalgic vehicle. One goes to a concert because they like more than a few of this artist's songs, and they're hoping they'll come and get a fairly faithful record replication of that song.
Yeah.
but that's never been me. And so I've been really getting nasty letters from fans since my second record, which was stylistically so much akin with the first. And so my reaction to that in 1988, 89 was, well, you haven't seen anything yet, because here comes a whole lot more that you may not be fond of. And so that's been my career. So again, I apologize to those fans, but it's just as I've always said, it's a creative prison. And so I've not allowed myself to be shackled in that prison, as you can see from these last many records.
I embrace this version of Bruce Hornsby, and I'm grateful that you do push the boundaries. I remember a few years ago I saw at CMA Fest headlining one night. It was Eric Church, and I remember after his set, we're waiting in line for a bus or something, and all these irate fans saying, he didn't perform the songs I wanted him to, and he didn't perform the songs I wanted to perform
Yeah.
in the way I wanted to hear it. And it was like one of the most soulful sets that I had ever experienced. And he was euphoric. And I was going, this is an amazing set. And I go, you know what? I don't think this guy made a lot of money to do that gig to begin with. He's like, give him a license to be who he wants to be. And I thought it was the most amazing set I saw in some time.
Well, there you go. There's Exhibit A for exactly what I'm talking about. And so
Yeah.
good for Eric Church for following his muse, and anyone else who does that. I've come to reside in the indie rock, the indie pop world with the aforementioned Bon Iver and Vampire Weekend. Ezra Koenig is on this new record singing with me on the second song, Memory Palace. And on and on. I could just keep naming these people from that world and the people that I've worked with. Blake Mills is on this new record, all over this new record.
That's right.
Pino Palladino. Chris Dave, all these people who reside in that world. So that's where I live these days, sort of stylistically and with my collaborators. Of course, there are a couple of other great old time friends of mine, collaborators, Bonnie Raitt and the late great Bob Weir.
Yeah.
But I've really been involved in that world that was just talking about. So right, a lot of people from the old days are going, "Who the hell are these people?" But hey, broaden your horizons. Check
Yes.
it out.
Yes.
These people
Stretch.
are these people are exactly stretch a little bit. These people are no joke. They're incredible musicians, so creative in that world. And so I've been so fortunate to be able to have been brought into that world and stayed there for the last 7-8 years.
I'm fascinated with the production approach, and on this album, you of course co-produced it, but you also had Tony Berg and
Yes.
Will McClellan
Yes.
involved. And from your perspective as an artist, as a songwriter, what did those guys bring to the table? I sense that they enhance or supplement you as an artist and take it to another level, not like some Svengali approach of, Bruce, I see you this way, to try to shape you to be something you're not.
No, it's very collaborative. Tony Berg is one of my longtime friends. We've been friends since '84, so 42 years.
Amazing.
And he's one of the great producers. He's had
Yeah.
Amazing success. Most of his records for many years were not sort of commercial successes. He was working with groups like the Cocteau Twins and the
Yeah.
aforementioned Squeeze. I played on a record by Squeeze that you mentioned because Tony was producing it. This is probably in the early mid '90s. We've
Yeah.
been friends for a long time. So, but Tony right now he and his great partner Ethan Gruska have been producing the Phoebe Bridgers records, which are just really something special and incredibly popular and successful in that way. So
Right.
he's also produced the young child Somber, who's made a huge splash in the pop world.
Yeah. Talented.
So right. And Will McClellan is a Tony Berg acolyte. The previous Tony Berg acolyte is a guy named Sean Everett, who moved on from Tony's tutelage. He was with Tony for many years and moved into the limelight like crazy, working with the Alabama Shakes and so many great big time artists, again, in the indie world.
Yeah.
So Will is the next version of that. And remember the name, because Will McClellan is an up and comer, and at some point he's probably going to break out on his own and do amazing things. I'll probably work with Will a little bit, just the two of us, on some things, because he has some ideas that I'm very interested in. So it never ends. Again, at age 71, I have all these amazing people who are reaching out to Grandpa saying, "Hey, younger people reaching out to Grandpa saying, 'Hey, let's go.'" So I again, lucky me.
And by the way, you look amazing. You know, people don't realize it, but, you know, it's probably the most dysfunctional and unnatural occupation and lifestyle one gets chosen for. I don't feel like they exclusively choose this profession. It in part is, you know, they're chosen by it to some degree, and it, you know, it's pretty clear, man, that you've been taking care of yourself. You look amazing.
Well, okay, you've said that twice, and that's very nice of you. But we can move on from that.
Uh,
You're embarrassing me. No, thank you.
it's my job.
I don't really feel that way, but it's very nice of you again. Look, I'm lucky that I get to do something that I feel is more fun than anything you can do outside of a bed, and so
Yeah. Yeah.
so so that's again, lucky me in that way. But I freaking mean it. All these years, I'm deeply involved, and I'm totally to blame if it's terrible. But I I'm a lifelong student, and I never stop. And there's always some new inspiration if you search for it, and that's what I've been doing. And that's a beautiful way to live a life. I guess I would say that the pursuit of the unattainable is a beautiful way to live a life. Now
Yeah.
because you'll never get there, but
It's the quest.
if you keep working on it, you're going to find these places on the way to the unattainable that are very fulfilling, and that's again a beautiful way to live a life.
Absolutely, appreciate that insight. By the way, the album cover art's just wonderful work. Where did that emanate from?
Well, for most of my life, we thought that were related to the legendary all-time great American painter Edward Hopper.
Yeah.
Turns out we weren't related to him, but my grandfather grew up and was a childhood best friend in Nyack, New York,
Wow.
of the great Hopper.
Yeah.
His most for people who don't know the name Edward Hopper, he's most known for a iconic painting called Nighthawks. It shows a bunch of, from an interesting angle, a bunch of people in a bar. I think it lives at one of the big Chicago museums.
Yeah, I believe you're right.
Not sure the name of it, but so we've been collecting Hopper. My wife Kathy and I have been collecting Hopper for years, and we have this etching. It's called Night Shadows. Back, I think it's from maybe the late 20s,
Uh-huh.
and I think maybe 200 and some were printed, and so we were able to procure one of those 200. So we have that hanging in our house. And I thought for this record, it felt appropriate. It's this dark scene of a street and one lone soul moving down that street. And this is I often try sort of an old-fashioned notion from the 60s and 70s, the concept record, but I'm not against it, and I'm
Yeah.
sometimes interested in finding my own version, creating my own version of that. And I felt, well, what am I writing about now? Well, I'll write about what I know and what I'm experiencing now, which is the aging process. And so it's been said that when you're moving toward the end, it can be a solitary ride, and at the end, you're all alone. And so
Right.
that picture, the starkness and darkness of that picture, and the lonely feeling, it just felt like the record. So since I own this, I can use it.
Love it.
And so it's called Night Shadows. Maybe I already said that. It's probably, I would say it's probably the most well-known Hopper etching.
Yeah, it's striking, no question about it, and appreciate, yeah, the background behind it. Matt D, one of your fans, wants to know, while you've got a lot of dates already announced, between now and I think, October,
Yes.
will you be announcing more, to ensure that other fans will see you?
Man, more. I think
Yeah,
there's 65 days from early April until late October, like as you mentioned.
yeah.
So no more right now. Maybe
Bruce is taking a break after that.
well, yeah, because it's a lot.
It is.
We're riding around on a bus. It's I'm not that popular, so we're not playing. We're not getting the police escort into the stadium
Yeah, yeah,
like that, and we're not flying from gig to gig in the private jet. Uh, which is
it's
fine. I understand. I made my bed. I wasn't trying to be the big pop star. I actually thought I was pretty bad at it when that was going on
yeah,
for me, and that's why I moved to a different place when I started using on the last Range record, Bela Fleck and
yeah.
Wayne Shorter and Jerry Garcia and Sean Colvin on my records, trying to start pushing it a little bit at that point. That record was produced by the great Don Gaiman and came out in
Yeah.
1990. So yes, that's the cover fits the concept to me.
Yeah, 65 dates is a lot of quality time to be
Oh,
spending
right,
with the
right.
band. We have a saying here, that goes that being in a band is like being married without the benefits.
Well, I
So,
love my band. We're family.
no doubt.
We got this one guy who reaches back into the old Range days. He was my keyboard tech, and I realized he started with me in 1990. I realized he was a great musician, and I said, "Hey, why don't you just set up a little off stage and just play along with us, because that's our thing is loose like that."
Yeah.
So he would do that, and he gradually insinuated himself more and more into the scene. He became a guy on stage, and he's been with me for 36 years.
What
Uh,
a story.
yeah, and another guy, that's JT Thomas on organ. Used to play with Captain Beefheart, JT.
Wow.
Yeah, in his youth. Uh,
Classic.
then another initialed member, J.V. Colliers, our bass player, and he's been with me since '94. So that's 32 years. And they come and they stay, which is lucky for me. So we're very close. We just ride around the country and laugh our asses off, and
Yeah.
that's how we roll. So there's never a time where we're going, man, I'm tired
You
of
don't
hanging out with
strangle each
you,
other.
So
Yeah.
it's all good, all
Love
lovely.
hear love hearing that. Sandra C, wants to know what is left on your list of things to accomplish. Do you still have some things that you want to, attain, as an artist that perhaps you haven't gone down that path?
Yeah, I don't think so. The great MTT Michael Tilson Thomas, who
Mm,
just passed recently, he was diagnosed with glioblastoma about
no.
3 years ago, and he just fought it valiantly. And I think he may be one of the longest lived persons, the people with that
The
deep
condition? Yeah.
cancer. And so he several years ago, I got to know MTT, and I did something for him at his New World Symphony uh, joint down in Miami Beach. He asked. I've been influenced in the past many years by the originator of 12-tone music, dodecaphonic music in the 20s, Arnold Schoenberg,
Nice.
an innovation that most people wish hadn't happened. But I'm very much interested in him, in his music, and some of my songs have been influenced by Schoenbergian musical material, musical ideas.
Yeah.
Uh, MTT asked me if I was playing a bit like the first 5 pages of the Schoenberg Piano Concerto, and he called me up and said, "Hey," he was still the San Francisco Symphony conductor. He said, would you learn the Schoenberg Symphony and play it with us at the SFO?"
Yeah.
Well, I turned him down because I realized, you know what, to do this is a full-time occupation that
Yeah.
I don't have the time for.
Right.
If my career was just dormant, if I didn't have anything going on, maybe I would commit to this the deepest of dives in my estimation.
Yeah.
So I said no to him, but maybe I'm thinking that I would at some point like to tackle that. You're asking if there's something left, but I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't think I'll get to that because I'm still so interested in writing a song. Again, writing a song that gives me chills. That's an
Yeah.
amazing feeling because you can't force chills.
That's right.
So when they happen, you know there's something in there. The song Indigo Park, which is the title song and first single and first track, we played it on Jimmy Fallon just 3 weeks ago
Yeah.
or so. That was one of those chill moments. I got chills when I was writing it, when I was working on it, when I was recording it. And I made my little demo of it, just piano, vocal, and Rickenbacker 12 string. You could call a lot of this record my Bruce McGuinn record because
Yeah.
I'm channeling the old Birds feeling, at least for me,
Yeah.
with the Rickenbacker 12. But then I played for my friends, and they were feeling the same way. So I said, okay, I've got something here. So that's a beautiful time when you feel like you've made something out of nothing that has this kind of effect. So I think I will continue to do that after maybe a bit of a break because I've been grinding on these records. This is
You
my
have.
fifth record in the last 8 years.
That's a lot. That's a
And that's
lot.
a
Yeah.
lot. So I might take a bit of a break, but you never know. I might not. If enough chills occur out of the blue, then I'll be dogged and determined and dutiful and jump in and take
Yeah.
the dive.
The magic of, that quest or achieving, that special song, which makes perfect sense. And again, if it was down to a science, it would have been one book written on it. We'd all subscribe to it. And I don't think music would be special. It'd all sound, I think, the same. So I understand exactly what you're saying. And I want to remind everybody tonight we're celebrating Bruce Hornsby's terrific new album entitled Indigo Park, featuring 10 amazing new tracks. The album, as you've heard, includes contributions from Bruce's friends, including Bob Weir, Ezra Koenig of Vampire Weekend, also Bonnie Raitt, Blake Mills, several other great musicians. Two of the album's 10 songs were also co-written by the late, great Grateful Dead lyricist, Robert Hunter. Now, I want to let you know that it's available right here on TalkShopLive, both on vinyl and CD. And as Bruce's way of thanking you, fine fans, he's graciously agreed to sign a limited number of copies purchased here on TalkShopLive. We also want to call out Bruce's brilliant trilogy, which I believe now is called a Titology. Help me out here,
Yeah,
Bruce.
the trilogy, a group of 3 albums.
But there's now a fourth, right?
Of
You
common
said.
theme, right? That's we call it the trilogy. But now that there's a fourth, that a group of 4 related creative works is called a tetralogy.
Tetralogy. I will get that right before the end of the evening for sure. Tetralogy. I'll say it 20 times fast. The brilliant trilogy features Absolute Zero, Non-Secure Connection, and Inflicted. And
Exactly.
there's a special offer. There's also a hand-selected signed performance photo that Bruce will be signing. To order your copies of Indigo Park and the trilogy, hit the shop button on Talk Shop Live on socials, Facebook and Instagram. Comment Shop will DM you a link. And if you're watching it from YouTube, just click the link inside the description. And the rest is quick, easy, and pain-free, unlike the slight arthritic condition that Bruce may have developed signing for you fine fans. But I think he's well on the way to recovery, and it's a small price to pay for the appreciation. But there is truly, in all sincerity, no greater way to show how much you appreciate the brilliant artistry of Bruce Hornsby than by physically owning, and I underscore physically owning, recordings from his latest body of work. Bruce, you okay with us checking out some music? It speaks volumes, I think.
Oh, absolutely. Yes. Go, man, go. You could start with Indigo Park as I was just talking about it.
Let's do that. Let's check out the opening track from Indigo Park, of course, and the title track, Indigo Park. Brendan, if you would, please roll the digital.
as the thunder did sing, I'd take the plunge in the old time dark, pull her on in and put her in water. There's a heightened sense of possibilities when you don't know shit and you're young and you're green. Turbulent twinge, it won't ease, and I'm in with you, only in my dreams. Oh, let these days be over delight, captured in a rhythm and a rhyme. Watch these drawn lines chase your life's most scintillating times. Holding you flying up and down, lit up like a diamond hiding in the rough. Succeed or fail, it's all the same. It's only life, and life is enough. So whatever, it's life and life only. Learn how to drive an old 41 car, first top stick shift. Carter, Braxton, Navarro, Finn taught me how to enter with a big hit. I made my great big entrance, greeted by the collective indifference of the neighborhood pool. I may be slipping, sliding back, fading away, from your view. Oh, let these days be over delight, captured in a rhythm and a rhyme. Watching these drawn lines chase your life, scintillating times, holding you flying up and down, lit up like a diamond hiding.
Well, Bruce, you know, is he's going to join us in a second. I'm going to talk to his chair, but no, I kid, Bruce. But man, what an amazing track! As Bruce had suggested, you know, this one was a special one for sure. And there are tracks that are for the ages that will stand the test of time. And this one is an instant classic in my book for sure. And yeah, Bruce, you're going to learn very quickly on this show that fans will become very irate with me. So you'll be in good company because they're like, Steve, why would you cut off such an incredible track? And for those that haven't been here before, the way it works is you have to buy the album to hear the rest of it. That's my story.
Okay.
I'm sticking to it.
Yeah, it's a tease.
Of course, a number of
You're
people have
just
already.
teasing. Yeah, you're teasing. It's a
You are
tease.
correct, sir.
Yeah.
It is a tease for sure. But man, I love the cadence and the melody line and the chorus. And, you know, also the verses are incredibly rhythmic. I love that. I mean, you know, it's just, you know, a lot going on, but it's not overproduced and an incredibly, I think, innovative and an amazing lyric to accompany this standout track, man. So as far as I'm concerned, this one's worth the price of admission alone.
Well, you're not alone in thinking that. Again, I was not trying to write songs. I was kind of burnt out from making the first four because there are the three that we call the trilogy. Again, as you said,
Yeah.
Absolute Zero, Non-Secure Connection, and Afflicted. But then during COVID, I made a COVID era remote record with the great New York chamber group Why Music, people who I'd met through the Bon Iver world, which is a beautiful creative world of people. I played Justin Vernon and the National, the Dessner brothers. They
Right.
had a festival. They're having it again this year. It's called the Eau Claire's Music and Arts Festival. They had Grandpa come and play on one of their festivals. And before we were playing, Why Music and a beautiful British female trio named the Staves were playing together. They'd made a record together for None Such. And I was just blown away by both groups. And on Absolute Zero, both groups were very much in evidence on that record.
Yeah.
So we started doing gigs right before COVID. We did 5, just Why Music and I. And then the world shut down. But then we had written one song. We decided to keep going during COVID. We made this whole record, an aquatic themed record called Deep Sea Vents. So it was actually 4 records, 2019, 2020, 2022, and 2024 with the Deep Sea Vents Why Music record. We called our group BRHYM, BRHYM, Bruce Randall Hornsby and Why Music.
Love that.
Little acronym action there. So I was just fried with the creative process. But then this Indigo Park came along and just would not go away. I tried to hold it at bay, give it the Heisman stiff arm, but it would not let up. And so that led me to writing the whole, when the reaction was so strong for that song, it
Yeah.
made me realize, okay, now you got to write 9 more. It's time for this next record.
Yeah. Well, yeah, a little bit of pain maybe on your end of it, but we're the beneficiaries of it for sure. I want to
Thank
play
you.
another track.
Yeah.
Great follow up sequentially on the album. Again, this is from the album Indigo Park from Bruce Hornsby, his brand new album. This is entitled Memory Palace, featuring Ezra Koenig, and if you would, of course, of Vampire Weekend.
Yes.
And Brendan, if you would do the honors once again, please roll the digital.
This is a short one too.
Steam coming from a manhole, a tall blue stack. Like an apparition, it blurs the full frontal attack. The gold in your band came from an ancient blast. Need a fortress for protection against a long, slow fading past. My memory palace, sudden placement in long thought chains. Prime numbers, I'm running in sequence. Behind the eyes, mnemonic aids. My memory palace. Blank stare, but I swear I'm all there. Someone's home. Is that what I look like? Ha ha, well I guess that's so. I laugh but I worry about can I make it through? Make my time of solitude work so that my recall is true. I'm building my memory palace, set up placement in long thought chains. Fibonacci numbers in sequence behind the eyes, mnemonic gates. My memory palace.
Beautiful track again, but love the video. And this one, just reminded me of like the need to get in my car, drive on the highway, roll the windows down. It just has that vibe to it. It's just so uplifting.
Yeah, you could get a speeding ticket listening to that song.
Yes,
It's
that would be my goal. Yeah,
kind of jamming in that way. So,
yeah.
So right, that's an example of that. And so great to have Ezra on that. He sang a duet with me on the Afflicted record called Sidelines, which was the side one, cut one of that record. So
Wonderful blend, the two of you.
No, I love it. Yeah, I love him and his whole trip. Vampire Weekend's a great band. I saw them play last fall. They came to Richmond and just turned it out, man. You got so many people in there singing every word. I just loved it. Yeah, all great.
Entropy here. It's Rust in Peace. Fascinating track. We're talking about, again, I think you kind of, spreading your wings a bit musically. I love kind of that rapping Bruce Hornsby style. And again, I think a wonderful lyric to boot. And the refrain, I think, here describes the, that sensation that often accompanies a peak experience that one may go through.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of nuttiness. There's a lot of lighthearted areas lyrically. I have twin sons, Russell and Keith.
Yeah.
And we've always had a great time using and coming up with funny words.
Uh-huh.
And so when our son Russell went away to prep school up in Bethesda, Maryland, he became he got into sort of the party scene.
That happens.
So I named him the Family Lush. And there's a great word, bibulous, which means someone who's a bit of a sot.
That's great.
In his cups. So right, all those terms. So the first lines are the the bibulous lush is in his cups. Mr. Concupiscence, which means concupiscence means lustful. Mr. Concupiscence is too messy to the touch, meaning, okay, I won't say what that means. Anyway, so I like all. This is a kind of a wild song, one of what I call my gonzo songs, in homage to Hunter S. Thompson, the great gonzo journalist of the 70s.
Absolutely.
80s, Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, et cetera, et cetera. So yeah, this is another one where the light touch is required. Okay, so we're playing Entropy here, Rust in Peace. Is that right?
We're actually not playing it. No, just touching on that one. So
gotcha.
yeah,
Okay. All right.
yeah. But my takeaway is, you continue to educate me. I suspect the twins do know what tetralogy means as well. So
well, they know it because I know it, and the reason I know it, just to be specific about it, I'm really, for many years now, I'm a total literary snob. I read literary fiction from way back until the current day. Don DeLillo, for instance, is one of my heroes, and I've gotten a lot of lyrical ideas from Don DeLillo. He wrote a book called Zero K. Now, I had this idea, absolute zero, but I never found my way into it until I found this DeLillo book, and that turned me out and made me finally write the song called Absolute Zero. Okay, so tetralogy comes from the great old novelist and poet, etc. John Updike is probably most well known for what's called the rabbit tetralogy. Okay, there were 4 every 10 years. He wrote a book in 1960 called Rabbit Run. About 1970-71, he came out with a sequel called Rabbit Redux.
yeah,
He said, and then 10 years later, he wrote Rabbit is Rich. And then 10 years after that, so from 60 to 90, he wrote Rabbit at Rest. So those 4 novels comprised the Rabbit tetralogy. And so that's something you can buy. There's a big, thick book of all 4 novels that's called the Rabbit Angstrom, if it's his last name, tetralogy. Yeah. So that's how I learned that word, which served me well when I realized, okay, now this is a group of 4. It needs a name, and I knew that word from that. So the boys didn't know that word, probably still don't know it, because they've never gotten into the Updike thing. So anyway, that's the hopefully quick thumbnail sketch of that.
I'm greatly appreciative. And my only regret is we didn't install a cover charge, man, for not only the entertainment and hearing this great music, but the education, with your knowledge base, which I'm greatly appreciative. I'm also appreciative of the fact that we're celebrating Bruce's terrific new album, Indigo Park, 10 amazing new tracks, and just a bevy of wonderful musicians that contribute to this record. And 2 of the album's 10 songs are co-written by the late, great Grateful Dead lyricist Robert Hunter. And TalkShopLive fans can purchase their copies right here, right now. It's available both on vinyl and CD. And Bruce has graciously agreed to sign a limited number of copies, so you want to make sure that you secure yours now before we sell out. And we also want to call out the brilliant trilogy that features Absolute Zero, Non-Secure Connection, Inflicted, available as a special offer here, together with the hand-selected signed performance photo from Bruce as well. To order your copies of Indigo Park and the trilogy, hit the shop button, or as we now say, tetralogy. Hit the shop button on TalkShopLive on socials, such as Facebook and Instagram. Comment Shop will DM you a link, or on YouTube if you're watching from that application. Just click in the description the link, and the rest is quick and easy. And there's no greater way to show your appreciation for the wonderful music that Bruce continues to share with all of us fans. And with that, I would like to also segue into another track and share this with the fans, again from Indigo Park. Here's Ecstatic, and I suspect some of you have seen this wonderful video. So Brendan, if you would please roll the digital.
The LSU Lady Tigers.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. So great. Yeah.
You found, you did it. Raise your hand and did it. That's right. You found, you did it. Raise your hand and did it. That's right. You walked, you traveled and got caught. That's right. You walked, you traveled and got caught. I'm waking up, I wake up jiving. Talk myself into it. Lie to myself about it. Thinking I've got something going when I don't. Then I'm led into this place. You let me in, I've got a shot for the work I've done. New paradigm shift takes place. There's mystery everywhere, and you never know what'll smack you in the face. Made my eyes jump around me, made my heart go beating fast. Heard the roar come sounding, try to make the ecstatic last. Yeah, 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 yeah. Dazzling bright nights, amazing or better, where all shines like silver, buffed up copper metal. Hearts swell and flutter in a large room of dense dimension. All this helps to stave off empty moments, spent tensions. I'm committed to the unseen. I enter the room, find the fourth dimension, and I'm suspect too. I wanna change my luck, Hey, made my eyes jump around me, made my heart go beating fast. Heard the roar come sounding, try to make the ecstatic last.
Well, the amazing Bonnie Raitt, of course, guesting on this. What a terrific video, Bruce. Well, we lost him for a second, so that's my cue just to remind everybody that you can order copies of Indigo Park by hitting shop on TalkShopLive. And for those of you that are on Instagram or Facebook, comment the word shop, and we will DM you a link. And if you're watching on YouTube, simply all you have to do is click the link in the description. And these are signed by the man, the myth, the legend himself, Bruce Hornsby. What a terrific video. I was just commenting, Bruce.
Oh yeah, I keep getting thrown off of this, so I keep having to refresh, and that's when I reappeared right then. So that's I missed what you said, but yes, we were just talking about my son Russell.
Yeah,
the bibulous boy,
yes.
and his twin brother, his older brother by 1 minute, is named Keith, and Keith played basketball at LSU. He had a really good 2 years there after transferring from
That's
a lower
great.
D1 program to the top level there. And
Amazing.
so because of that, one of his great friends when he was at LSU was a baseball player named Kramer Robertson, whose mother is Kim Mulkey, the coach of the fantastic Lady Tigers basketball team. So through my son Keith, through his friend Kramer, he hooked me up with Kim Mulkey. Turns out she's a fan of mine and a fan of Bonnie's.
Wow.
And so she consented to let us come down and film the very willing, very, very enthusiastic Lady Tigers team just doing whatever dance they wanted. It's such a joyful video. I'm just mad for it. So I'm glad you
Yeah.
liked it. It's a great fun.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's a celebratory, man. It's wonderful. Great vibe for sure. We're not playing this track, but I wanted to call it out. Might as well be me,
Oh,
Florinda.
you're not playing that one? I know it's pretty long, but that was one. Okay, whatever you got. That's all
Well,
fine.
we're hopeful that we'll get you back, that we can talk about the trilogy when you have a break between shows, and then we'll get into, I think, some more music as well,
Yeah.
if
Yeah.
that's okay.
That's fine. Yeah. But you want to talk
Yeah.
about Might As Well with Bob Weir. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, so obviously, man, just a electric, vocal duet between you two guys, and wonderful bridge. Man, there's elements of jazz and some New Orleans flair, but of course, with Robert Hunter providing lyrical content, and the vibe overall. The song clearly captures the spirit of the Dead, and fans will absolutely love this track.
Well, look, Weir was one of a kind,
Yeah,
one of the greatest people I've ever known in my life.
yeah,
And I was so fortunate to have him consent to do this, and then he took off on us. So this may be, if it's not his last recorded performance, it's certainly one of them.
Right.
And his performance is just classic. He's just so, it's so unique. It's so weird. You know, right when he comes in, you just go, "Whoa, go ahead,
Yeah.
Bobby Weir." And so, yeah, such a gift to all of us that he got this done before.
And you were, yeah, you're right. We're so fortunate. You know, that's the beauty of recorded music, right? It lives on, it carries the torch and the spirit.
Yes, sir.
And Robert Hunter, yeah, you mined through a lot of his lyrics. I mean, I'm always fascinated by your story of the fact that through all of your interaction with him, the two of you never met. Is that right?
We did meet.
Oh, you did meet.
We did meet because Hunter did, but we never met after he was interested in writing songs with me and reached out with he
Got it.
he after Garcia died in '95. The next year, 96 and 97, we did what was called we put on the Further Festival.
Yeah.
And the second year, 97, when the Killer Black Crows were part of it,
Right.
Hunter came out and did 2 or 3 gigs with us.
Wow.
And so that's when I met him, because when I was playing with the Dead, he never came to any shows that I was a part of.
Right.
So so I met him then. But then many years later, 2008, he reached out to me by email and asked me if I'd be interested in writing a song with him. So, yeah, of course, the answer was yes. He's one of the transcendent lyricists. His body of work with Garcia and several with Weir as well
Yeah.
are just transcendent. One of the great corpuses, one of the great bodies of work in popular music history, whatever you would say about it, like that. And so he asked me if I would send him some music. So I went through, got some old cassettes of song ideas that I'd never really dealt with. And I found this one that felt very much like a classic Grateful Dead Loser type of song. I don't know if you know the Dead song Loser, but it's one of the greats.
Yeah.
And if I had a gun, every ace I've drawn, I could rob a town the size of Abilene. So it's just beautiful. So so I found this thing, sent it to him, and 2 weeks later, an email showed up with a set of lyrics where he had syllabically placed the words metrically with every melody I'd written. I'd sent him.
Right.
And it was called Cyclone, and it's possibly the best one that we wrote, because we ended up writing 5 songs after that have dotted various records here and there. Cyclone is on our record from 2009 called Levitate, and also on our live record. But it's a song that I'm so proud to have written. And so then he passed a few years ago, but I had these 2 songs, my Florinda,
Right.
Might As Well Be Me, Florinda, and Alabama, the craziest of all of them.
Yeah.
Which is also is featured on this record, song number 6, right after the Bonnie Raitt song Ecstatic.
Wonderful track.
So right, that's how it worked out. So again, so fortunate that he was interested in writing with me, and we ended up being fairly productive with those. I have my 5 Hunter songs, which is I'm so proud to have that part of my creative body.
Yeah, as are we. We're the beneficiaries as well, to be able to to embrace and hear those as often as we choose to. So I do want you to touch on the last track. We're going to play that in a couple of minutes, but man, take a light strain. Just a fascinating story. We talk about the magic and the fascinating process of how songs come to be. This one in particular, first of all, man, is just certainly spoke to me. It's a beautiful track, wonderful lyric. But you had this amazing dream, as I understand it, and it involved your father, which kind of planted the seed for this song.
Absolutely. I'd written so after Indigo Park left its mark on several local, my little local club of self-appointed arbiters of taste.
Yeah.
And I wrote another 8 songs. I had 9 songs, and I sent the 9 songs to Tony. And Tony Berg is a tough room. He's not someone who is easily impressed or moved. So a couple of 2 or 3 weeks went by. It's a long time for the loud silence to ensue and remain. Then all of a sudden he calls me. He called me. I'm boarding a flight in Charlotte Airport somewhere, and he calls me. I stepped out of the line to take the call, and he called me, and he opens up by saying, "I love all 9." Wow. So that, man, okay.
Validated.
Yes, that's right. Nice sigh of relief there. So I realized, okay, there's a 9. I need one more song. And so I wanted to write what I would call my valedictory song, the closing benediction, closing song for the record.
Yeah.
So I needed to find a way into that lyrically. And I had this dream about my dad that was so real. I wound up just weeping from the dream.
I'm sure.
And so I wrote that third verse kind of first. I had that in mind, and that just gradually led to the song. A funny note on this. The record starts again with Indigo Park, where I chant a little Bob Dylan from his great song "It's All Right, Mom, Only Bleeding." My lines at the end of the chorus, "It's life and life only." Yeah, is definitely from that. So there's a little Dylan moment in the first song. So I thought I'd throw an appropriate Dylan moment in the last song, which is I sampled the beginning drum from Like a Rolling Stone.
I love that.
And that's how the song starts. So that's the fun of it. I like to throw these little bon mots, these little bonbons out to anybody who may happen to notice and get a kick out of it. So that's "Take a Light Strain." "Take a Light Strain" was a phrase of my dad's. It's an old country phrase. He was an old country boy from Seaford, Virginia, fishing village down in York County, a little 15 minutes away from where I live.
Yeah.
And when people would get too stressed, he would say, "Come on, man, take a light strain." It's nice.
Love that.
So there you
so
have it.
Appropriate. Yeah, no question that this would close the album. I mean, it's just perfect, and appreciate you sharing the Bob Dylan connection of tying the first and the closing track together. That's amazing. I want to remind everybody that we have Indigo Park both on vinyl and CD available, and Bruce has graciously agreed to sign a limited number of copies. Hit the shop button on TalkShopLive on Instagram and Facebook. Comment the word shop. We'll DM you a link. And if you're watching on YouTube, just click the link in the description. And we're also offering the trilogy, Absolute Zero, Non-Secure Connection, and Inflicted, which feature great tracks. Absolute Zero, Voyager 1, Cast Off, My Resolve, a Non-Secure Connection, Bright Star Cast. Anything Can Happen with the great Leon Russell, which was also a lead track from the solo record some years ago. Great record that Bruce worked on with him. And also Afflicted, which has features Sidelines, Days Ahead, and Had Enough. You'll also get a signed photo that's features a live performance shot signed by Bruce as well. And all you have to do, as I said, is just click the button or on TalkShopLive or comment the word shop on Instagram or Facebook. And the rest is quick, easy, and pain-free. And with that, everyone, I just want to thank all the fans, first of all, for being here for sure. And so Bruce, thanks, man. Thanks again for your persistence. We should have paid that internet bill. And you're a good man. You're going to get a certificate, for being, absolutely on point to help us close this out. So, was there any last words you want to share with the fans out there?
Well,
To
maybe you
close
can
out
give
the
me
show.
maybe give me a participation trophy like in rec league, where everybody gets one.
Yeah, you got it. We can work on that.
Anything I'd like to share with the fans? Look, I hope they have open minds and open ears. But even if they don't, most of the music on these records is not that challenging, and so it's just a bit of a mixed bag. Uh,
Yeah.
but I feel like in my later age here that I'm at the peak of my powers. I feel like vocally and as a songwriter and pianistically, uh, I'm a lifelong student, as I said, and I never stop. And hopefully this is the result of all that. So thanks for being interested, and hopefully we'll see you on the road from now until in late October.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, I'm so thankful. It was educational and it was a great time, and you've been a great sport. And again, congratulations. I think fans absolutely love this record. And again, I'm so thrilled that I learned that there is such a thing as tetralogy. So with that, everyone, thanks to Bruce Hornsby. Stay safe. Enjoy each other. Rock on. We're going to close out with the last track. So long, everybody.
Keep stepping, they're gaining on you. Wheels are spinning, going nowhere soon. Here's your present, no matter the past. The beautiful times will never last. I've been seeking magical thinking. I think I detect a trend. This could be the start of something, or this could be an end. So say goodbye with a whisper and a smile. See you real soon, or maybe after a long while. Time and bends and we ride a swirling wave. Take a light strain as we are trying to do our best to remain. Why you take yourself so seriously with your hard beliefs and your certainty? Together we can take a light strain. Even facing the calamitous unforeseen. I walk inside with my brother Clyde. Doctor gave us his usual bromides. Should've had that screening, he did cry. Keep us above the ground for a little longer before we say goodbye.